Good afternoon. Today is Monday, August 6th. There we go. Today I went back out in the ocean, and that is strictly because I heard some pretty slow reports from the river. Now, a couple of quick tips for fishing the ocean before we get too far into our report. Every single morning, Channel 22 Alpha is loaded up with people asking for bar reports. There are two solutions to opening up the airwaves a little bit and not pestering the Coast Guard at Cape Disappointment. One, just turn it on to 22 Alpha and listen. Within 5 minutes, someone will ask for it. You'll get your bar report. The second way to do it is to go ahead and go online. We all have these cool little smartphones now, and the smartphones, if you look up Columbia River Bar Report, United States Coast Guard, Cape Disappointment, it will actually pull up their latest bar report. They don't give you up to the minute bar reports. They give you the last updated bar report. So it might be an hour or two old. So it's up to you to make the right decision, which leads us to what happened this afternoon. This afternoon when we came in during the ebb tide, during the outgo, which is not the best time to come across the bar. The best time to cross the bar is on an incoming tide. When it's during the outgo, during the ebb, that's when things can get a little bit dicey. Yesterday was today was definitely getting a little sporty out there, getting a little nautical. And we had 6 to 8 foot breakers, maybe a couple 10 footers. It was pretty big. And what was interesting about that is that the bar report from the Coast Guard actually said no restrictions on the bar. So it's up to you, the mariner, you, the operator of your boat, to make sure that you are safe. There were no restrictions on the bar today because of the last update. It was deteriorating quickly, and it was 6, 8 foot breakers, even a little bit bigger on the South Channel and Middle Grounds, where the most amount of current comes through. Because of the swell direction and whatnot, coming in through the North Pole was best today, but tomorrow could be different. Heck, right now could be different. Okay, so now on to our report. Today was a lot slower out in the ocean. It sounded like it was a lot slower in the river. Now, we ended up getting our fish out in the ocean, but it took a long time because of all of the small feeder kings, the smaller coho, and a lot of wild coho. So we had to bounce around a lot. Last update yesterday and the one before, I mentioned it a few times, the best thing that you can do is just keep on moving until you find that group of fish. When you land on a pot of fish, it was boom, 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 boom. Then you troll past them. Pick up, run back. The current out there in the ocean is running 3 to 5 miles an hour. You can't turn around and nose back into it. You're not getting a good roll out of your bait. You got to pick up, run back, and go get them. As far as flasher colors go, the Pawn Shop Red October are definitely the best ones that have been working well for me. Any variation thereof, your orangish, reddish colors, a lot of color, a lot of pop, and then your metallics. So definitely Pawn Shop with the silver and gold has been doing pretty well too. I also put a little hoochie skirt, 2.5 inch Fishfield hoochie up on top of that, and pinks, greens, again, a lot of color, a lot of color. So the most amount of color you can put up there, the better. At least in my experience so far. Not too many Chinook out there right now, at least where we're fishing. Sounds like there are some a little bit further north. Brandon actually did get a 25-pound Chinook today, and that lucky SOB, I'm so jealous right now. He actually, on the way in, right next to Buoy 10, if you go to his Facebook page, he said he just posted the video. He actually saw some orcas, a little pod of 4 or 5 orcas working in right next to Buoy 10. Hopefully that pod is a pod that wants to feed on sea lions and not our salmon. Who knows? We'll see. But that's really cool to see orcas in the Columbia River. That's pretty rare. Gosh, for the river, it was slow. It sounds like the guys that just got lucky and landed on them got into 4, 5, 6 kings. No one really just whacked and stacked and had a great day. A lot of guys came in with 1 to 3 fish. So I think for my plan tomorrow, this is supposed to be Buoy 10 reports. These are supposed to be river reports for the most part, but the best fishing has been out in the ocean. So as long as the swell stays down, the wind stays down, we can stay safe. I'm probably going to be out there for the next few days, because here's how it works for the Buoy 10 fishery in general. Not all the time, because a couple of years ago this wasn't the case, but for the most part, when we get a big set of tides on the new moon or on a full moon, the first few days as those tides start to drop, excellent for Chinook. That's what we saw on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then as they start to bottom out and start to increase, not so good for Chinook. And I think that's part of the reason why we're starting to see it slow down. But again, 2 years ago on the bigger tides, we saw better Chinook fishing. So we'll see what happens here in the next couple days. I think that's about it. I think I covered just about everything that I wanted to. If I forgot something, I'll make sure to bring it up tomorrow. But again, if you're going to be going out there crossing the bar, listen to 22 Alpha. You'll hear your bar report. I guarantee it within a few minutes, because someone's going to ask. Go online, look up the bar report, do your own due diligence, make sure that you're safe out there and that you're comfortable operating your boat. It can get sporty pretty quick. The bar was deteriorating very quickly out there today, so just be safe. Thank you. Be very, very safe. Wear your life jackets. Every single one of my customers, as soon as we cross the bar, before we even start that trek, everyone's wearing their life jackets. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully with a little bit better report from the ocean and an even better report from the river. Oh, that's what I was going to remember to say. Okay, first thing this morning, it was just the first part of the incoming tide, and there was a massive bait ball around buoy 6. I got a hunch that as these tides get a little bit bigger, with the amount of coho that we're seeing right out front off the tips, there could be a pretty good bite around buoy 10 itself. I don't have the guts to try it myself, but I got a hunch that with the amount of bait, the amount of birds, the fish we're catching right around buoy 3, buoy 4, we're catching fish right there. So those fish on those bigger tides might get pushed all the way into buoy 10. We might see some early coho. All right, guys, now I'm out. We'll see you guys later. Bye.